Hey woodworkers, welcome back. So I was hoping to show a little bit of the process here. I've got this knot. Well, it's actually not a knot. It's the live edge part of the board here, and there's a pretty substantial gap, especially when you start getting really thin up here, which I believe I've talked about this project before. So I've been doing different layers and trying to go back to my painting days where I'm trying to mimic a glazing effect where I want to have the colors deepest into the live edge, or where the bark layer was, and have that be darker, and then as it comes out kind of blend into this lighter tone. So that's what I'm working on now. I just put, I hear you, I just put this coat on yesterday, and I needed to do it in that orientation to have it fill where it's just razor thin here, and if I didn't fill anything, this piece is disconnected from this other side, and then it starts to connect again further back, but I just need to connect those pieces. If not, it's gonna be trouble. It's a guaranteed thing to break at some point, and it's never a good option as to when. All right, so just scuffing up the surface for the epoxy. And what I was hoping to show when I do this is how this is going to lay out as I fill. So I have some different flavors of, can you see this, of wood. So I started with coffee grounds, which is kind of the go-to, and then I used walnuts to kind of give it a little bit of more light color. Then I did mahogany on this last layer. And so now I have put in some cherry, and I've also gone a little bit lighter on how much cherry wood I have in here. You can see it's fairly chunky, which is not bad. If it were thinner than this, I think it would flow in a different way, but I'm really hoping to get this stuff to create a bit more of an appearance of looking more natural. So yeah, I think I like where that's at. Looking at it from here, you can see it's starting to pool and collect really close to this bottom edge. It's coming out just a bit. So I want to do two things. I want to change the orientation of this angle. So I'll tilt this back. Oops. And I also want to bring this wedge over a little bit so that I can really drive this resin filler. Come out there. That, closer to that. All right. Yeah, that looks a lot better. All right. Okay, sorry. Being a bad host in the process here. Oops. So what I'm hoping to do is create a bit of an undulation between where this high point is here and then the high point out over there. So I want to eventually start filling a little bit more gradually, but I can't do that in one pour. So I've done, I don't know, maybe 5 pours all told for this thing. And each time I'm changing the orientation of this board as far as level, and then also tilting it further back or closer to vertical, in all in the attempt of trying to make this stuff look a bit more natural, but also protect any of those weak points that might be in the board. All right, I think I'm going to call it. All right, so then the next pour I'll do will be in this little area here, and then the one after that will probably be elongated over here, and then I could do really fine, thin layers to start leveling this out, to create that curvature. And at that point, then I should be done with the resin, and then one step closer to putting on finish, which is always the most exciting part. All right, cool. Hopefully that was helpful. See ya.